Brenda J. Lilly here from Creative Consultations. I just wanted to put out a small disclaimer before we launch into today's video that says I'm not a licensed therapist. I'm just here to engage, to encourage, and hopefully empower other artists to go out and live their art dream. So here we go. Enjoy the video. Good morning, everybody. Brenda J. Lilly here with Creative Consultations, and it is time for our Monday morning Kickstart. It is Monday morning, June 24th. And if you like this video, and I hope you do, please share it with your friends, with your family, with all of the artsy fartsy people in your life. I want everybody to feel encouraged by what we do here at Creative Consultations. So, with no further ado, let us get to the video. Have a great day, and I'll see you on the flip side. Good Monday morning, everybody. Brenda J. Lilly here, and it is Monday, June 24th. Can you even believe it? I've got my big blue cup of coffee. I am ready to rock and roll. Today, I want to talk about where your strength lies. Meryl Streep said, "What makes you different or weird? That's your strength." And I can honestly say, when she said that, it made me so happy. It resonated with me down deep in my spirit because all my life I've struggled with thinking differently than everybody else around me, seeing things differently than everyone else around me, being different, wanting different than everyone else around me. The older I get, the more I realize everyone else around me was looking at me going, "That's kind of cool." Or, "Wow, how does she do that?" And the answer is, I don't know. I just can't imagine my life any other way. I'm different. I process differently. I think differently. I see things differently than other people. I perceive things differently than other people. And for a lot of years of my life, I tried to be like other people to no avail. I couldn't. I couldn't be any different than who I was created to be. My brain simply processes differently than other people, and that is okay. It's not a negative, it is a positive. And we have to start encouraging one another that when we're doing things differently, or seeing things differently, or seeing a big picture, and it seems like no one else around you is seeing that, we need to encourage one another that it's okay to see things that way. It's okay to see things differently, than to be differently, to act differently than others. Sure, society asks us to come together and function as a society, like be peaceful in certain areas, go to school and for a certain amount of years and learn certain things. Absolutely, there's a bit of societal conformity that needs to go on with every single one of us. That gives us sort of a baseline of how to function as a human being. If you go to church, that gives you a baseline of how to function in the truth of who God is. If you don't, you find someone, hopefully your parents or your guardians, who give you a baseline of moral thinking or morality, so that you build your conscience, and this is good, this is bad. um Murder, bad. Helping someone to live, good. Right? Stealing, bad. Giving to someone in need, good, right? So there are societal conformities that we need to come to. That aside, the way we look at things in that arena is different. Every single one of us has a different kind of processing that we go through. If you're a really I was sitting at a birthday party the other day, and all of the teenagers at this birthday party, for whom it was, were playing with Rubik's cubes of all different shapes, sizes, and colors. And they sat there for good hours, like hours, just twirling these cubes around. This is something that even when they first came out, I was not interested in. Like, I would try it for like maybe 2 minutes, and then I'd be like, yeah, I'm done. Can't do it. Bored out of my mind. But I watched as two of these kids specifically were so good at them. We're so good at thinking through the problem of what this cube represented and just solving it. And I just went, yeah, that's a different kind of brain than mine, and that's glorious. And then I watched the girl next to him struggle, and I was like, yeah, and that's a different kind of brain, and that's glorious too. You know, we all have differences, and we need to celebrate those differences, not tell people they're wrong for thinking this or that, or processing more slowly than you do, or whatever. You know, I was talking with my brother this week. We both lost our mom just recently, and so the family is going through a grieving process. And I've kind of sat back and in this last couple of weeks, and I'm watching as it seems like my whole family is getting through it in a really positive and healthy way. And I don't feel that. I process grief so differently, loss so differently, seemingly, than they all do. And it was really irritating me, and it was really starting to get me down. And my brother said, "Well, of course that's the way you are, Brenda. That's how your brain processes. That's not a problem. It's different, but it's not wrong. It's not a problem. You have to decide how you're going to make your processing work for you instead of against you." Aha, I thought. Yeah. How to say, this is how I feel right now in this place, in this moment. What am I going to do with that? What is that going to translate into in my daily walk, in my daily world? Am I going to let it push me into depression and not be able to dig myself out? Or am I going to allow it to push me into action, into creativity, into using all of the stuff that I'm feeling in my creative life and in these moments? You know, I have a very different processing center up here than my brother, um, than most of my family members, frankly. And for me, I talk about it like this. I have a very creative side of my brain, and I have a very administrative side of my brain. And it's like they're two warring factions, and I have to get them to talk to one another. I have to bring them to the peace table, right? On a daily basis. I have to decide who's going to win. Is my administrative side going to win today, or is my creative side going to win today? On Mondays, when I'm doing this video, both sides have to come to the table and be determined to work together, because my creative side makes this video of interest to you. But my administrative side makes all of the other stuff behind the scenes and all the video editing and all of that a possibility. I need both sides to come together. And probably if I thought through most of my days, I make both of those sides come together in sort of a glorious way. Not everybody has that. Not every creative has an administrative side as thick as mine is. And I used that for decades, being a professional stage manager and production manager and in production in the entertainment industry. I use that administrative side for the creative arts. Yeah, that works, right? I turned my processing center and the way I look at the world differently into a strength, into well, a career, frankly. And here I am, and I'm sort of in a turning point of my life, and I realize I have to do that again. And I have to decide what it is I want and then go for it and make both of my thought processes come together to the peace table and start working towards that end. See, that's a strength. When we can look at ourselves sort of from this point of view, just take a step back for a minute and go, okay, so I'm getting stuck over here. I need to unstick myself because that, if I get unstuck over here, then we'll be able to do this and launch. What makes you different or weird is not the problem. How you think about it might be. If you're trying to be like everyone else, if you're trying to fit into someone else's box, right? Like people, society tries to fit everybody into a certain criteria. If you're trying to fit into that box, if you are anything like me, if you are creative in any way, I can almost guarantee you that box is not made for you. You get to make your own box. You get to decide how wide and how tall and how vast that box is so that you can keep on creating and not stop yourself from ever creating new things. And that is a kind of world I want to live in where everybody gets to be, think, believe who they are, be who they are, think how they think, and be encouraged in that way, handling problems the way they process. Yes, fitting into societal conformity and norms, but not trying to be like everyone else because it doesn't make you feel better. It's not going to be solve your problems. It just creates new ones, frankly. When you deny who you are and you decide, I'm not going to be that person anymore. I'm not going to be creative anymore. Nobody appreciates it. It makes me look different, act different, feel different. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to be whatever, whatever the choice is. It might seem like an easier choice because then you quote unquote fit in. But I can honestly tell you from some experience, it doesn't make you happy, doesn't bring you joy. It's sort of suffocating. And I don't want any of my artsy fartsy friends to be suffocated or their art to be stunted. So, what makes you different? What makes you weird? That's your strength, my friends. Go forth, keep creating, and have a gloriously good week. And I'll see you again next Monday. Hey, thank you so much for watching our video. I hope you liked it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, subscribe. What are you waiting for? All right. I hope you all have a wonderful week. Bye.